in the non-dual space, there's a lot of talk about the freedom from suffering, the freedom from the mind, the freedom from worries, the freedom from struggle, the freedom from whatever it is. There's a lot of talk of the freedom from. And this is a necessary stage. It's what many non-dual teachers point to, the freedom from. But it's also incomplete, and there's more to it. It's something that you can't easily point to. It's not something to point to, it's something to live. And that's not the freedom from, but the freedom for. It's the other side of the coin that you aren't seeing. The freedom from, it's like the freedom from the prison, but it's incomplete. Because once you're free from the prison, what now? Well, now you're free to live fully. And it's something that you don't point to the same way. Someone can point you to the gate or the door of your prison cell, or show you that it was always open and that you can simply just walk through it. But the freedom for is the freedom for living fully. And that's something that you can't point to. It's only something that you can live. And like I said, it's the other side of the coin. Once someone recognizes their inherent freedom and they're free from the chatter of the mind, or they're free from that sort of story, the prison that they have been experiencing their entire life, the identity. Once they're free from the identity, once they're free from suffering, well, now there's a freedom to. And this is all about integration and embodiment. This is the next step. This is beyond realization. It's what I call actualization. It's the next step that a lot of people deny, a lot of people avoid, a lot of people simply are not aware of. And it's all about you living as that freedom that you have realized. You see, you don't just simply realize that the gate of your prison cell has been open and you just sit there. Oh, thanks for pointing at the door being open. Was it really open this entire time? Thanks for pointing to it. And you just continue to sit there. You continue to sit and avoid life. Of course, you wouldn't say that you're avoiding life. You may see this as continuing to seek retreat after retreat, sitting on your meditation cushion all day. I don't know, doing just about anything in the name of spirituality. But the next step, the freedom for living fully, the freedom to live fully, is actually more ordinary than you may think. It's not going to look flashy. In fact, this part can often look very messy. And it's the part that people avoid, because people like to avoid the mess. They don't want to get dirty. It's very easy to simply point someone in the right direction. But to guide that person on the path, you're with them. And that's the messy part. Walking the path, like I'm walking here, it's wet. It snowed last night. It's now melting. The trail is muddy. It's slippery. It's rocky. There's roots. You might see me fall, but that's okay. At least I'm walking it. This path that you call your life is meant to be walked, meaning it's meant to be lived. You don't just sit at home in your mom's basement, sitting on your meditation cushion, thinking that your life is going to change simply because you've had a realization. Without integration, that realization means nothing. You need to integrate that realization into all areas of your life. And you see, that integration is where transformation happens. And to embody your true nature is where your life totally transforms, becomes basically unrecognizable. It's not just your perspective of life that is shifted. That can come from the realization itself, of course. But to actually transform your relationship, your job, your body, all these different things, your hobbies, your passions, all these different things, to totally transform them requires integrating that realization. It requires actualizing the realization. It's like realizing your potential. Oh, thanks. There's my potential, but never actually going any further with it. No, it's about actualizing that potential. What good is it to just simply realize one's potential and not actualize it? So you see that actually a lot of these spiritual practices, like the popular saying, there's nobody here, there's nothing to do, become a form of escapism, avoidance, a way that we deny our authentic self from expressing fully. And that's really what this next stage is all about. It's all about authentic living, authentic expression, self-expression, whatever you want to call it. But one thing for certain, it's about living fully. And as long as we are afraid of living fully, we haven't met ourselves fully. We haven't integrated ourselves fully. Those areas of life that you're afraid to confront are really the parts of you that you are afraid to meet. And you'll see that by meeting those parts of yourself through the integration work and embodiment, you then no longer fear those areas of your life, and instead can actually transform them. And you transform them by integrating those parts of yourself. So it all starts from within. By integrating those parts of yourself that you were unaware of, you actually see that there's strength and power in those aspects of you that you feared. And it's like those parts of yourself that have been resisted or denied or abandoned can now play. This next step, self-actualization, is about playing with life, as life, so fully that you see that you were never truly living fully. And now, like a second chance, like being reborn, can now live fully. It's sort of like a spiritual rebirth. The old you dies, and the true you can now live fully, where you're unapologetically authentic, where your life becomes a masterpiece because you are expressing yourself from your heart. Your life becomes a work of art. And transformation is total, which is why I say that it's incomplete to just simply realize your true nature. And the popularity of just simply pointing at our true nature and proclaiming that there's nothing else to do, making it seem like one just simply sits on the couch after realization, is a complete illusion. It's a complete avoidance in what I'm speaking of, what I'm expressing, what I live. And that's fine if people are satisfied with just simply the realization. But for those who are longing to live what has been realized, then I'm speaking to you. If you're watching this, then this message is exactly for you. You're exactly who I'm speaking to. The one who has been teacher hopping, who has continued to listen to all the pointers, thinking that maybe a new teacher is just going to come around or a new video is going to pop up on your feed and they're going to say it a little differently. The words are going to click. Maybe you can brainwash yourself to thinking that maybe if you hear it enough times, you too will have all of the concepts and analogies and can speak so elegantly about non-duality. But for the one that feels that longing in their heart and that resonates with the truth that I'm expressing, then you know that, oh my God, yeah, I've discovered the freedom from, but not the freedom for, not the freedom to. And that's what I'm inviting you into. And of course, there's a threshold here. There's a threshold, and which is why it's less common, less known, and it's sort of like the path that is least taken. Because when someone says that there's no journey, when someone says that there is no path, when someone says that's it, you've arrived, and you sit there on your meditation cushion and say, I've had the realization, I've arrived, and yet your life continues to unfold, and you feel this inner tension within yourself, sort of like, well, what now? Well, then you see what now is the doorway. That's the threshold. The threshold. But you're confused because you have so many people saying that there's nothing to do. And this avoidance has become so popular amongst the YouTube community that then someone like me saying, no, there's more. It's like an infomercial, but wait, there's more. And that's really to live more, right? It's to actualize that realization. It's to be the expression of the essence that you have realized, to express that essence, to embody that essence so fully that it completely transforms your life. And whether you call it living your best life, living your dream life, living as your authentic self, living as your true self, whatever name you have for it, it doesn't matter to me. I don't care. Use whatever language, terminology, words you would like. It doesn't touch it. It's something that cannot be explained. It can only be lived. And if you're catching the fragrance of freedom through this video, if you're smelling that aroma, then that's the resonance. That's what you're smelling. You're smelling that freedom that's being embodied. You're smelling that freedom that is not the freedom of looking outside the window, but instead being outside that window and living so fully, you are the expression of freedom itself. And to those who are watching this, the few of you that feel that resonance in your heart and wants to live as freedom, I invite you to join me in truth.